Misconfiguration of cloud solutions is often overlooked when companies plan cybersecurity strategies. Cloud apps are typically quick and easy to sign up for, and the user often assumes that they don't need to worry about security because it's already been handled. However, that is incorrect. Cloud security is a shared model. The provider of the solution handles securing the backend infrastructure, but the user is responsible for configuring the security settings in their account correctly. Today, I'm going to discuss what you can do to secure what you're responsible for in your cloud solutions. Hello, I'm Michael Kinnett, CEO and founder of Eternal Networks. Every Friday at 1 p.m., I go live on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and my personal LinkedIn pages to discuss the latest tech and cybersecurity news that might affect you and your business, and to share some tips and tricks. At the end of our live session, I'll also answer any questions from the audience. So if you have any business tech or cyber questions, get them ready. I'll leave some time at the end to cover those. First, for the news, the North Korean state-sponsored hacker group, Kim Soo-ki, has been impersonating academics and journalists for spear phishing campaigns to collect intelligence from think tanks, research centers, academic institutions, and other media organizations. A joint advisory was just sent out in the United States from the FBI, the State Department, the NSA, as well as the South Korean NIS, NPA, and MOFA, basically the equivalent US and South Korean agencies teamed up on this. So they talked about what's been going on. Essentially, this North Korean sponsored hacker group is pretending to be media or academics in order to collect information to then spearfish more and to collect intelligence. And so in the advisory, they recommended good cyber practices like MFA, but they also recommended a couple of other things. They recommended if you're contacted by somebody purporting to be a media representative or from an academic institution wanting to interview you or get information from you about your organization, they recommend visiting that organization official website to confirm the validity of the contact information of who's been contacting you. Make sure that they're actually part, right? So if you get an email that purports to be from CBS or ABC or NBC, right? Don't just trust that it's true, but don't follow links in the email. Go on your own to their website and research and find out who you're communicating with. And even further, the advisory suggests doing a preliminary video call as an effective strategy to eliminate the ability for them to impersonate others before continuing to communicate with them. So something to consider as you're evaluating your own cybersecurity policies within your organization. Also, in the news, 32 different malicious Chrome browser extensions that had total installs of over 75 million have been removed from the store by Google after a security researcher discovered that they were injecting JavaScript code into listed websites. Essentially could perform redirections and search result hijacking. The security individual did not detect anything malicious. However, the ability was there for these extensions to do that. While they have been removed from the App Store, that doesn't remove them from any computer browser that they've been installed on. So it's recommended that you review your browser extensions and remove any that you don't know or trust. Also, you can check and see in the browser App Store if they're still listed, and if they're not, it's highly recommended that you remove them. Now, for our discussion today, I'm going to talk about 6 different ways that you can prevent misconfiguration in your cloud apps. Misconfiguration covers a wide range of negligent behavior. It all has to do with cloud security settings and practices. A finding in the State of Cloud Security 2021 report shed some light on how common the issue of misconfiguration is. According to this report, 45% of organizations experience between 1 and 50 cloud misconfigurations per day. Some of the main causes of these misconfigurations are lack of oversight and controls, a team lacking security awareness, too many APIs and cloud apps to manage, no adequate cloud environment monitoring, negligent insider behavior, or not enough expertise in cloud security. And realistically, it's probably a combination of all of those in most organizations. So what can you do, right? So here's some tips that you can do and implement to reduce the risk of a cloud data breach, and to improve your cloud security. Number one, enable visibility into your cloud infrastructure. Do you know all the different cloud apps that your employees are using at your business? If not, you're not alone. It's estimated that shadow IT use has climbed and is approximately 10 times the size of known cloud use. So think about that. If you know that your business is using 10 apps, right, there's a good chance that there's 10 times that amount of apps in your organization being used across your staff. When an employee uses a cloud app without authorization, it's considered shadow IT. And that's because the app is in the shadows. It's outside the purview or oversight of the company's IT team. I did a webinar on shadow IT. I'll make sure in the comments we post a link to that in case you're curious to learn more about what shadow IT is and how you can bring it out into the light. So how can you protect something that you don't know about, like shadow IT? This is where shadow cloud applications are so dangerous and why they often result in breaches due to misconfiguration. So it's important to gain visibility into your entire cloud environment so you know what you need to protect. And one way you can do that is through a cloud access security application, which allows better visibility into those applications. Number two, restrict privileged accounts. The more privileged accounts you have, the higher the risk of misconfiguration. There should be very few users in your organization that can change security configurations. You don't want someone that doesn't know better to accidentally open up a vulnerability, such as removing a cloud storage sharing restriction. It could leave your entire environment a sitting duck for hackers. Audit privileged accounts in all of your cloud tools, and then reduce the number of administrative accounts to the least needed to operate. And I should say a privileged account is essentially an account that has admin rights, admin privileges. I've seen before when I come in to start managing the IT and security for organizations where every single user is a privileged user in that environment, which is just opening the door for risk and exposure. So minimizing that is critical. Number three, put in place automated security policies. Automation can help you mitigate against human error. Automate as many security policies as possible to help prevent these cloud security breaches. For example, if you use a feature like sensitivity labels in Microsoft 365, you can set a do not copy policy. Essentially what it will do is it'll follow that file that's tagged all the way through any of those Microsoft supported cloud applications. Users don't need to do anything to enable it once you put the policy in place. It's there, it follows it automatically. There's many similar automated policies that you can put in place on a variety of different cloud applications. Number four, use a cloud security audit tool. And one example is built into Microsoft 365. It's called Microsoft Secure Score. So how secure is your cloud environment? How many misconfigurations might there be right now? It's important to know that information so you can correct the issues found to reduce your risk. Through using an auditing tool like Microsoft Secure Score, you can scan your cloud environment and see where problems exist. It should also be able to provide recommended remediation steps. 5, set up alerts for when any configurations change. So once you set up your cloud security correctly, they won't necessarily stay that way, especially if you have privileged users, right? Those that can go in and change settings. Several things can cause a change in a security setting without you necessarily realizing it. These include an employee with elevated permissions, a privileged user accidentally changing them. That could be a change caused by an integrated third-party plugin. That could be from software updates, a hacker that has compromised a privileged user credential. So it's important that you set up alerts to know when something does change, right? If one of your security policies changes, you get an email notification, and it is because there's a breached user account or maybe a malicious insider that's wants to allow them to download confidential information. The faster you know about that to be able to remedy it, the better. And then 6, the final tip is have a cloud specialist check your settings. Business owners, executives, and office managers are not cybersecurity experts. I'm not a law expert or a finance expert or anything else, but I know cybersecurity. Right? No one should expect you to know everything, especially in the cybersecurity realm where it's changing all the time. Being able to understand how best to configure the security for your organization's need sometimes and quite often requires a cloud security specialist from a trusted IT company to come in, check your settings, configure things, implement these other steps that I've talked about. We can help ensure that you're set up properly to keep your data protected without restricting your team unnecessarily. Most work is now done in the cloud, and companies store more and more data than ever in these online environments. And through using these tips, you're helping your company better be able to stay secure in this ever-changing environment. And if you ever need any more help, you can always message me, and my team would love to help you out in making sure that your cloud environments are secure and your business's data is protected. We have an upcoming webinar later this month. Cyber attacks are becoming increasingly sophisticated and frequent, putting businesses of all sizes at risk. The consequences of a cyber attack can be devastating, but there are some new tools out there to help protect against this. It's called Zero Trust. Zero Trust is a cybersecurity approach that can stop hackers in their tracks. Through continuous authentication and validation of user identity and device identity, Zero Trust security can eliminate the implicit trust and ensure that you're only allowing authorized users to access your data, your resources, and your networks. So join our team and our special guest, Darren Swan from Total. We're going to be going live on June 15th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Save the date. There'll be a link in the chat, in the comments, so you can add it to your calendar of choice. It's going to be a good one. Darren's a great guy, very, very knowledgeable in the industry, and his product Total is game-changing in the security space for protecting small and mid-sized businesses. So let me check and see if there's any questions from our audience here today live. I don't see any questions that have come up through the comments or chat in the various social media platforms I'm live on. So if any of you are watching this after the fact, thank you first of all. And if you do have any questions or comments, you can always contact me via direct message, call or email the team through our website at ITNet.works, or comment on the video. I'll see that, I'll get notification of it, and we can open up a dialogue to make sure that your questions are answered. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you guys more next week. Thanks.